Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Paul. We are back with another tally for the results of our signals provided within our Gold Trading VIP, a place for members to have access to quality signals where we conduct the analysis, we provide you with the trades, and all you have to do is copy that information onto your broker and collect your profits. We've been doing this for almost a year, and I'm excited to share with you yet another month where we're going to be covering for the month of August 2025. As we do with all of our videos, if you're familiar with our previous uploads, we're going to provide you with the total tally of the trades we called out, our wins, our losses, breaking down our win rates on a weekly and monthly basis. But then more importantly, to add a little bit more transparency, we're then going to go into the charts and go through every signal we call out. That way you can verify for yourself when and where these trades were called and witness the quality of the signals we provide for our members. This is something most signal providing services out there don't do, and we've been doing this for almost a year, so it's something that I am very proud of. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. If you have any questions or need help, feel free to comment down below. You can also reach me more directly either via email or Telegram. You can access my official contact information down below in the video description. And don't forget, in addition to signals, we also provide automation. So whether you're someone who is looking to earn automated profits while you copy and profit from our signals, going about your daily routine, or maybe you just don't have time to copy trades or trade on your own, this is where our automated system can come into play, where the trading is done for you, allowing you to earn on a daily and weekly basis hands-free. Now, keep in mind, our signal service and the automation are two separate services, but something we've been providing within our community for the better part of almost a year. So if you want to learn more, visit our links down below. But without further ado, let's proceed with today's video. So here is the tally for the month of August 2025. Now, bear in mind, in comparison to our prior uploads, you can see that we've definitely called significantly lower amounts of trades in comparison to prior months. Reason being, for one, market conditions, right? Markets are changing literally every second of every day. So we call out trades based off of the setups provided by the markets. We don't just provide signals just to say we called out signals, right? We want to make sure that we are providing quality signals that are based off of the setups provided by the market. But also keep in mind, it was the summertime, the kids are out of school, we've taken a lot of day trips with the kids and my wife, but nevertheless, that still doesn't stop us from providing quality signals. Now, don't forget, the trades that we're going over in today's video are my trades that I personally call out. These do not include the trades that you also receive from our partners as well. So in addition to my trades, you also get an access to other scalping setups and swing trading setups from our partners, which gives you access to more trading opportunities, especially at times where, if for whatever reason, if I'm not able to provide signals as a member, you'll also have access to our partner signals as well. All right. So to learn more about that, make sure you visit our website. But as you can see, on the first week of August, we delivered 1,200 pips in profit with an 87.5% win rate, winning 14 out of 16 trades. Second week, a lot slower, yet we still managed to deliver way more than our first week with over 1,600 pips in profit, over 90% win rate, winning 10 out of 11 trades. Third week, over 1,700 pips in profit, over 90% win rate, just like the week before, winning 10 out of 11 trades. And then on the last week, over 1,400 pips in profit, delivering a 92.86% win rate, winning 13 out of 14 trades. We ensured that our wins outnumber our losses, keeping those losses at a minimal. So in total, we delivered over 6,500 pips in profit, losing only 5 trades for the entire month. So again, we had 2 losses on the first week and 1 loss each on the second, third, and fourth week. So a total of 500 pips from our losses, which gives us a total profit gain of just over 6,000 pips for the month, with a monthly average win rate of 90.5%. Now, for those of you who are new to the concept of pips and how that could translate in terms of a dollar value for your profits, if you're trading with a small account at a micro lot size of 0.01, that's 10 cents per pip. So if you had taken all of our trades, including our losses, that is a profit equivalent of over $600. At a 0.05 lot, that's 50 cents per pip. So at 6,010 pips, that's over 3,000 in profit. If you were trading at a 0.10 lot, that's $1 per pip. So at 6,010, that's over 6,000 for the month. And for those of you with either larger accounts or just trading at a standard 1 lot size, that's $10 per pip. So multiply that by 6,010. That's a profit equivalent of over $60,000. And again, folks, this is all by following and copying the signals we provide. We conduct the analysis, we provide you with the trade setups, and all you have to do is copy those trades onto your broker. And again, the trades that we're going to be going over in today's video, these are my personal trades. These do not even include the other trade setups you get from our partners. So this is a phenomenal opportunity you don't want to miss out on. But with that being said, let's hop into the chart so that way you can verify the trades and the quality that we deliver. Let's take a look. So we started off the month of August not in the best of notes, but nevertheless, folks, as you see from the results and as you will see as we go through these trades, we always come on top where our wins outnumber our losses. So starting off with a sell between 33.22 and 33.24, here's that entry, which resulted in a loss. And then we called out a couple other sells as price was, rising up to these levels and retesting prior levels of resistance. So we did another sell between 33.34 and 33.36 and 33.43 and 33.45. So here are those two entries where we gained small profits of TP1 for 30 pips and 50 pips. But then on the following Monday, on the 4th, it started the day and the week with a buy for gold at 33.60. Here's our entry where take profits 1 through 5 were hit for 200 pips. And in the midst of this trade, we did attempt another buy at 33.80. Here's that entry for a smaller gain where take profit 1 was hit for an additional 30 pips. Now on the 5th, we did a sell at 33.63. Here's that entry, which resulted in a loss. But then we called out another sell at 33.80. Here's that entry where take profits 1 and 2 were hit for 90 pips, followed by a buy at 33.77. Here's that entry where take profits 1 and 2 were hit for an additional 70 pips. Next day on the 6th, we started the day with a couple of sells between 33.65 and 33.72. So here are those two entries. Take profit 1 was hit for 50 on the first trade and 70 pips on the second. Then we did a buy at 33.73. Here's that entry where take profit 1 was hit for 60 pips. And then we did a sell at 33.69. Here's that entry where I instructed to trail our stop loss at break even to eliminate risk from this trade. So in other words, folks, for anyone who is new to the concept of break it even, this is a great tactic to use whenever markets are starting to move against you or price may not be heading in your favor, to eliminate risk, or in other words, to eliminate a loss from happening by trailing your stop loss at break even. It closes out the trade where you don't make any profits, but you also don't lose any money either because of trailing your stop loss at your entry point. And as you can see from the chart, it was a good thing we did that because after fluctuating within drawdown and our entry, price eventually went up. So by trailing our stop loss at break even, we removed our risk and avoided the loss. Now on the next day, we started off the day with a sell at 33.82. Here's that entry where take profit 1 was hit for 50 pips, but then we reevaluated our analysis and we called out for a couple of buys. So our first buy was at 33.79. Here's that entry, which as you can see, price came up and then came back to revisit our entry level once again. So when that happened, I called out for another entry where I stated going for another buy at same entries and take profit targets. So between both of these two buys, both trades hit take profits 1 through 5 for 230 pips each. Next day, we did a sell at 33.96. Here's that entry where, as you can see, price ranged for a bit until eventually dropping off as expected, hit and take profits 1 through 5 for 240 pips. And being that this was a Friday, I decided to stop trading because sometimes trading on a Friday can be a little bit tricky. And then I just posted a tally of the trades we were called out for the week, losing only 2 trades for the week, solidifying yet another profitable week in the books. Then on the following Monday, on the 12th, we called out for a sell at 33.51. Here's that entry where take profits 1 and 2 were hit for 90 pips. And then on the next day, on the 13th, we started with a buy at 33.61. Here's that entry, but as you can see, folks, and also based off of the announcements, I wasn't liking the price action. Price was ranging in a drawdown and also coming back to our entry, showing signs of weakness. So I instructed everyone to trail the stop loss at break even to remove risk from this trade. And it was a good thing we did because shortly after that, price came down to lower levels. So again, just like the trade from before, by bringing our stop loss at break even, we avoided a loss where we didn't make any money, but we didn't lose any money either. So as price came down to lower levels, we called out for another buy at 33.55. Here's that entry where take profits 1 through 4 eventually hit for 190 pips. But in the midst of this larger trade, we did attempt a scalp sell at 33.55. Here's that entry, didn't work out, resulting in a loss. Later that evening, we called out for a sell at 33.70. Here's that entry where eventually take profits 1 through 6 hit for 380 pips. And then the following day, we started the day with a buy at 33.54. Here's that entry. Again, similar scenario, prices ranging between drawdown and our entry point. I wasn't liking the price action. So again, to protect our trades and also to protect our members, I instructed everyone to trail their stop loss at break even to remove risk. Smart move because as you can see, price ended up dropping off. So we avoided that loss. But before we had these drop offs, we reevaluated our analysis and we called out for a couple of sells at 33.55. So here's that entry where price dropped for over 100 pips. Now, as price came back up to revisit our entry, I announced that I was going to go for another sell at the same entry with the same stop loss and take profit target. So this is our first entry. Here's our second entry, which as you can see, based off the charts, both trades hit take profits 1 through 5 for 250 pips each. I did make a quick announcement in regards to the PPI news, which actually helped our two sell positions, pushing price back down, hitting take profits 1 through 5. Followed by the next day on the 15th, we start off the day with a couple of sell entries, one at 33.42. So here's that entry. And then as price kind of trailed above our entry and into drawdown, I also made an announcement where I was taking another sell entry at 33.42, same stop loss and take profit targets. So here's our first entry, here's our second entry, a little bit of consolidation until eventually we got the drop that we needed, where take profits 1 through 4 were hit for both trades for 190 pips each. On the following trading day, which was a Monday, the 18th, started off the day with a sell at 33.48. Here's that entry, where eventually take profits 1 through 5 were hit for 230 pips. Then on Tuesday, the following day on the 19th, started the day with a couple of sells at 33.46 and 33.36. So here's our first entry. Let me just zoom out here. Here's our first entry. Here's our second entry, which as you can see, folks, take profits 1 through 5 were hit for both trades, 210 pips on the first and 200 pips on the second. Next day on the 20th, we started the day with a buy at 33.22. Here's that entry where take profits 1 through 5 were hit for 210 pips. In the midst of this buy, we attempted a scalp sell at 33.38. Here's that entry. Didn't work out, resulted in a loss. But then as price rose to higher levels, we called out another sell at 33.47. Here's that entry, which based off the charts, we were in a bit of drawdown. Didn't hit our stop loss, so we held on to this trade, and then eventually we got the drop that we needed, where take profits 1 through 5 were hit for 200 pips. Next day on the 21st, we started the day with a sell at 33.41. Here's that entry. So as price dropped in profit in favor of this trade, it also pushed our sell from the prior day in favor as well. So that's how we got that closure of the 200 pips on that sell here. But on this morning sell at 33.41, take profits 1 through 4 were hit for 190 pips. Now as price came down to this lower level of support, we called off for a buy at 33.24. Here's that entry, where eventually take profits of 1 through 4 were hit for 230 pips. But in the midst of this buy, we did attempt a scalp sell at 33.41, which was right here, where take profit 1 was hit for a minor gain of 50 pips. Then on the following day, on the 22nd, we started off the day with a sell at 33.32. Here's that entry where take profits 1 and 2 were hit for 90 pips right before this massive spike. So when we got this spike, we called off for a buy between 33.55 and 33.53. So here's that entry as price is rising up. Take profits 1 through 5 were hit for 200 pips. And I believe that was our last trade for this week. So we did a weekly recap where we tallied up all the trades, losing only one trade for that week. Then on the following week, the Monday, the 25th, if that's correct. Yeah, the 25th of August. Started off the day with a couple of buys, a buy at 33.66. Here's that entry, and 33.61. Here's that entry. Take profits 1 and 2 were hit for 90 pips on the first. Take profits 1 through 3 for 140 pips on the second. Then we did another buy between 33.62 and 33.64. Here's that entry for a small gain of 30 pips before we had a nice drop off to a prior level of support. When price came down to this level, we called up for another buy between 33.55 and 33.53, which as you can see, beautiful entry before this spike hit, and take profits 1 through 5 for additional 210 pips. On the next day, starting off the day with another couple of buys, a buy between 33.72 and another buy at 33.70. We entered here, price hit a couple of our take profits, then revisited our entry once again. Because price did not break this level of support, we called out another buy. So as you can see here, taking a second entry as our first, same take profits and stop loss levels, resulting in both of these trades to hit take profits 1 through 5 for 240 pips each. Now the next day we did a few sells. So didn't work out as much. I mean, we still made some profits, but not as big as the prior day. Started off the day with a couple of sells, a sell at 33.82. Here's that entry where take profits 1 and 2 were hit for 80 pips. And as price came to revisit our entry level once again, I announced that I was going for another entry at the same point where take profit 1 was hit for an additional 50 pips before rising up. Then we called out for another sell. As price was rising, we called out for a sell at 33.90. Here's that entry, which as you could see, a lot of consolidation between going into drawdown and a little bit of profit. I wasn't liking the price action, so I said that price could break through our resistance. Let's play this one safe, trail our stop loss at break even or into profit to remove risk, and that's exactly what we did. Another smart call, because as you can see, price ended up going higher, which would have resulted in a loss, but we avoided the loss because we managed our trades properly. Which, by the way, folks, if you don't know how to trail your stop loss to break even or into profit and things like that, this is one of the many things that we teach you as a member of our VIP. Then on the 28th, we started off the day with a sell, which didn't work out. So it was a sell at $33.99. Here's that entry, which, yeah, didn't work out well, resulting in a loss. Then we did another sell here at $33.06. Here's that entry where take profits 1 through 3 were hit for 120 pips. And in the midst of this sell, we did another scalp sell at $33.99. Here's that entry for an additional smaller gain of 30 pips. Then on the 29th, we did a buy at $34.05. So that was right here at this point, right before price took off. So take profits 1 through 5 were hit for 250 pips on this setup. And as price came up to this level, it was a prior level of resistance. So we did attempt a sell here. So a sell at $34.40. Here's that entry. Hit and take profit 1 for a small gain of 50 pips, making this our last trade for the month. Again, resulted in a 90.5 monthly average win rate, delivering over 6,000 pips in profit. Again, folks, this is all by copying the signals that we provide. We conduct the analysis, we provide you with the trade setups, and all you have to do is copy these trades onto your broker. And don't forget that all of these trades that we have gone through do not include the trades that you also receive from our partners as well. So in addition to my trades, you also get access to our partners' trades, which gives you more opportunities for copying and profiting from our signals. Without a doubt, we are the best signal providing service out there. If you like what you see and you want to learn more, visit our website down below, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside of our VIP. Take care.